But a good transition there by, I guess it was KD, I think, in the chat that you just put up, about getting the weak hands out. So we'll just go to the BankX thing now. There's been a slight update with what's going on with that entity. It's a running story. I don't want to rehash everything about them, but in case you don't know anything about them, so BankX was an entity that promised an algorithmic stablecoin that was tied to silver, basically. The HEX God Whale allegedly sacrificed a bagazillion, I think, HEX it was, to them during that sacrifice phase. A lot of people think he fat fingered it. They don't know what was going on. There's a lot of speculation. Anyway, for a long time, there's a lot of people who have had, oh, what's BankX going to do with all the HEX that they have, and worrying about it. And just a couple of weeks ago, we saw that they put about, it was half of their stack left. So like 350 million or so EHEX for sale between 1.2 cents to 2.8 cents. Well, now the update over this past week is the whole thing is for sale up there now. So basically, well, I think it's all but like 40
54.
million. Okay, 54. So 650 million EHEX are all for sale between 1.2 and 2.8 cents. I'm assuming just kind of tapered for BankX. Yeah, there it is. I did have that in my notes. So 54 million left after that. And again, I'll just keep saying the same thing we always do. People worry about this stuff sometimes and think about it and like, how can HEX even go? I just saw somebody in the chat a few minutes ago. As long as HEX is dragging us all down, we're never going to go up. Dude, it's all on how you look at it. I just don't think that's the proper way to look at it. And look, this is bullish to know this information. Like, we have one big entity that is holding HEX that is just a couple of cells away from being out. Okay. And I totally agree with what KD said. We want to get them out ASAP. We know who they are. We know what their plans are as far as selling it. These are all good things. You look around at these other chains like Solana, like Polygon Matic, Arbitrum, Optimism, stuff like that. Scheduled token unlocks from VCs who got to invest before any of us did, in seed rounds before the thing went live. You don't know when it's coming, and then one day you just get smacked in the face with a huge sell from those people. So can we get smacked in the face sometimes, in this ecosystem by big sells? Yeah, but we are able to see most of it on chain and know who the entities are. So that's pretty much my 2 cents on it. But Ewok, yeah, what do you make of that story? And now that we know that basically their whole stack is up for sale.
Yeah, I think it's I forget how many $1 million, whatever would put us right past it. The one thing I don't want to happen is, everybody's saying Godwell should just buy that right back. He should just buy that right back. Well, then we're in the same spot we were before, right? Where you've got one other big entity who maybe doesn't value it because he's already given it up once. What's he going to do again? We're right in the same boat. Let's eat through it. If people would buy this up at these rates, there are some good sized buys that could happen. So if you have friends that want in, that have larger bags, it's not going to hurt the price. They're going to get a hell of a deal. Right now is the time where you should be getting some of those bigger investors in. Granted, we don't want someone to come in with $15 million and just buy it up, all of it, because again, we're back in the same boat we were before. Now, don't forget, there's also, 80 some sharks and I think 3 or 4 whales or whatever there are in the system that could do very similar thing. But once this gets eaten up, it's going to take off. There isn't much holding it back. And, because Johnny's here, I'll give him credit for saying it. He's, it's closer to the on and off ramp. So this is the place where a lot of people are still going to come. They don't know about PulseChain. They maybe aren't sold on it yet, but they're going to be coming in and out through Ethereum. They don't care about the fees. It's close to the on ramp. It's close to the off ramp. This is the thing they're probably going to buy until they get used to the system or whatever it is, and get their stuff moved over to PulseChain. EHEX is going to be the one that runs. It's going to pull everything else with it. And everyone's like, well, HEX is holding everything down right now, but it's going to be the one that could be pulling it up. So, and yes, especially with Coast, what's happening, they don't have that other on ramp to just get in over there. So, it is closer. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I just want, a bunch of people to buy this up and fortify their own bags, and we don't have that situation where it's just one less whale we've got to worry about dumping the price.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, let the organic ecosystem of people who do believe in this long term and are interested in investing in it get their hands on that for sure. So, yeah, we'll continue to update that story if updates do come. I don't know if you wanted to get rid of the. Just realized we still have the chart up there. There we go. We got to see our faces zoomed in. You just got a haircut the other day, so we want to make sure people can
Yeah.
see that. So, yeah, so we'll continue to update the BankX stuff when necessary here. So, one other interesting story and a little bit tied to that in terms of people capitulating. So we had a huge HEX shark. I think it was on Sunday. Emergency in stake a bunch of HEX. And the payout per t-shirt, you DM'd me whenever this happened. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like the first, like one of the like top 3 payout in HEX history. I think I saw Katie said.
Yep.
It was like
Second.
19. Okay,
19.
second
Yeah.
most of all time, 19 HEX per t-share on Sunday, which is crazy. I mean, we're usually 6 to 8 to 9 or something like that. The guy or girl paid 650 million HEX in penalties and sold the remaining 30 million HEX after that. It looked like, yeah, second highest payout in history to stakers. What do you make of this story? Like, why would this person do this now and at least not wait until maybe more towards the area where like BankX is selling or something? I don't know. We don't know what anybody's motive could be. Could they have needed some of the money right now? I mean, to do something like that, it is so easy to just be like, this is moronic. What an idiot, and all these things. And maybe they are, but who knows? I mean, I don't know what compels people to do that. So, yeah, what do you make of that happening, especially with where we're at in the cycle right now? I mean, literally, coming off the lows here.
It really makes me wonder, especially the amount of penalties that they paid. Yeah, I was trying to look up the Hex Daily stats to find it, but I'm not seeing it right now. Either way, it makes me wonder if it was a hack, if somebody pissed off their wife and they got the keys and said, it's one of those freak things that you just don't know what happens or what goes on in someone's life where they may have really just needed the money. But it's going to happen throughout the next so many years. I mean, we're going to see these things happening to where, you see it all the time. I wish I would have held my 10,000 BTC instead of selling it at $3. I wish I would have held it till $8. Well, 10,000 BTC is crazy to think about. And we're going to see very similar things in this ecosystem as well. Again, you don't know what happened. You like to think that they just needed the money, and hopefully they got taken care of what they needed to. I would hate to see it as a hack. We all remember Hex 19 when he lost his major stack of things due to a hack. And that was so very unfortunate. We just haven't heard anything yet. I haven't anyway, on what happened. But yeah, well, whether they may not have been believers, maybe they just had an emergency. Who knows? Either way, we're all here to make money and we're all here to take care of things. And whether they believed or not, I think they sold everything though. So usually the people that believe at least hang on to a little bit, right? Keep a moon
Mhm.
bag of something. But that wallet got completely drained. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what happened? But either way, that's one more down, right?
One more down for sure. Yeah, that one's kind of an out of nowhere one, but all of us who are staked out benefited pretty greatly from that one. So pretty nice little bag of HEX for sure. So